Welcome back to this Monday edition of Midday. We have such an easy show today. I love it. We're painting today with Karla Pearce. It's great to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
You were out gardening yesterday.
I was.
Nice.
I was. And the irises are blooming in the garden.
Yes,
and
they
I
are.
love irises. They're my favorite flowers. And I find that some of them start to go, like the different colors go at different times.
Yes.
It's, and I've got a little pond in my backyard. I've just been playing around with it. Yeah. So flowers to me can be a big inspiration for painting as well. And I always like to get right into the flower so that it can be almost an abstract painting.
Do you like to, like you said, do a real close-up of it? Is that what makes a painting an abstract? Because not necessarily. Does something have to be close up, or how does that work?
I think that what ends up happening when you get super close to the inside of the flower, that it sort of breaks apart a little bit, and so you're not seeing it so much as a flower. It could just be a collection of shapes, but having said that, it still has an organic feel to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what color are these? I think we actually have a picture. We can go to that quickly here. A close-up here of an iris. Yeah. I have yellow irises in my garden.
Nice.
They haven't opened up yet, though, because up in the colder area that is Aberdeen, still a little bit gun-shy. Hasn't opened up yet, but we're hoping to see it fairly soon.
Yeah.
But the purple ones are beautiful, and yours are purple in your garden then?
Yeah, yes, they are. I have a lot of purple. I have purple and white. I have a deep purple. These ones are kind of a lighty purple. They're the smaller guys.
Yes.
And you get the big furry ones, you know?
Yes.
And when they get too heavy, sometimes you have to prop them up or their heads fall over. But these ones are the smaller ones, and they're adorable. And when you get really close into them, they start to become something else. They start to transform. That's a beautiful thing about photography.
Absolutely. So let's see what you're going to start with then. Let's take a look.
So I've just sketched it out really rough to begin with. And I start with a gray canvas all the time. I prime with gray. Different artists have different techniques, but I like the gray because it's easy to get going, because right away you already have a color. Now I'm going to mix up some purple, which is magenta, and the blue.
Do you always hold that when you're mixing it up, or would you normally have it sitting on a table next to you? How does that work?
I do like to hold it.
You do? Like a true artist, Karla. Really?
Well, it's close to me.
Yes, it is.
So we've got this, and this is kind of, if you can see, I've got a couple of colors going on here, and drips happen. So we don't worry too much about drips coming down, because I'm going to cover those over a little bit later. And I just like to go in and get some of that beautiful purple color, and this side is a little more on the blue. And you see how when you just come around like that, and you've got a couple of different colors already on the brush, you can, it's almost like they paint themselves a little bit, eh? I'm
always so amazed by how you choose a color and it's just a little of this and a little of that, and it works for you.
Yeah, it's 3 colors really. The yellow, magenta, and CM blue will make all of your colors. And it's just practice. It's like cooking or, you know, anything else, music maybe, that you eventually learn all the recipes. And in my art classes, that's one of the first things that I get kids to do, is to learn how to mix all the colors. So then you're not being frustrated over, you know, well, how do I get that color? Probably brown is the hardest one to do, because that's 3 colors. And then black and white to lighten or darken the colors. Now, this little section here, this is where the petal curls over, and it'll either do 2 things, one of 2 things. I've painted so many flowers that I could just kind of know this.
Yeah.
It'll go either lighter or darker. So this one, we're going to make it lighter, and then just like that, you see, if you just go light on that edge, we've created this shape that's curling over visually, that illusion. Of course, it works better when you get a bit further away. Down here, too. So we can do the same thing right there. Just right on top of it. And it creates the illusion that the petals are curling over. And I'll just go through all of them. We'll add the yellow afterwards.
I'm always amazed how it comes together, really. You're so relaxed about it, and it just works out for you. And I know you've done so many, but...
Yeah. You know, I've probably done 1,000 paintings thinking of it. I have boxes of watercolors at home that I don't show people.
Really?
Like, yeah, there'll be like 100 watercolors in the boxes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what do you do with them?
Right.
You know?
It's that practice factor.
It is. And you have to enjoy it. Because if you're not having fun, then I don't know, it turns into work, and then it takes all the joy out of the painting. And I have to say, painting is my favorite thing to do.
It's highly therapeutic. That word always comes up to me, but I always find, not that I'm a huge painter, I'm not, but if I've ever engaged in something that's artistic like this, it is. It's very therapeutic for you.
It is, and it doesn't have to be about the finished product either. The paintings can just be about themselves. They don't have to be saleable. I think a lot of the times that it wrecks art for people when they start to think about, well, how much is that worth? Well, it's worth whatever you put into it, really. You know, it's, I think it's the time and the joy of moving the paint around. I really like it a lot. I've always enjoyed doing art, and most children, I think, do too. It's when you get to teenagers, they start to get a little self-conscious, and will often move away from doing the art because they think it doesn't have any value, which is wrong. It has great value. Yeah. Okay. I always feel that that's an important thing to hang on to.
Absolutely, it is.
And, you know, never let it go. Always have fun playing around with art and being creative, and it's really good for your brain.
Welcome back. We are checking in with Karla Pearce to see how this beautiful picture is looking with the iris. And by the way, it's beautiful as always.
Thank you.
And the yellow, I love the yellow because it just finishes it, right?
It sure does.
Yeah.
Yellow and violet are complementary colors, so that means they're on the opposite end of the color wheel. They look great together, and because they're so far away from each other, that yellow just pops right out because of the purple body. Now, I've made a mistake here. What ended up happening, yellow being a light color, I put it on and I got some green in there. I didn't want the green. So what I'm going to do is show you how to fix stuff like that.
I like that, because mistakes happen.
Mistakes happen all the time. I had a big drip running through here. Thank goodness not while you were watching.
It's all good though, but it's good to show people how to get out of a situation.
Absolutely. So this color, not happy with it. I've mixed white in with my yellow because it opaques the color.
Okay.
And so here we go. And just check that out.
It just goes over top and sort of just
that's
mutes
it.
out.
See? And it's fixed. No problem. And acrylic can be that easy to do. I find watercolor, you can fix watercolor as well, but not as easily as you can fix acrylic.
Is that because it's a thicker paint, you can just go over?
You can just go over it.
Okay.
So I'm going to put in this section here, and you see, just going in with that yellow, it's like kapowie. We've got the feeling of that beautiful yellow streak right in the center of those irises. And also the fun thing about this is yeah, they're irises, but they're kind of abstract too.
Yeah, totally.
It could be anything.
It could be, truly.
Yeah.
Tell me this, we have about a minute left. I want to give you an opportunity to let the viewers know if you're offering any courses in the summertime.
I have kids classes this summer.
Yeah.
They are in August. It's the Kids Art Camp. I run it every August.
Nice.
So there'll be 2 weeks. You can find the courses on my website at karlapearcegallery.com.
Awesome. You continue on here. Thank you so much. We still have 1 more minute. I want to see you finish off the little bit of yellow here.
Oh, yeah. And I've got one more.
How do you know when you're done? Like, I know there's a point where you don't want to overdo it and overpaint it, right? So how do you know?
Well, with acrylic paintings, you just have to feel like the whole thing is working and feel like it's done. Sometimes abstract ones are hard. You have to just sort of hit that good place.
Yeah, and know that you're done.
Yeah, it's
fantastic.
It's a little different than doing a tree, that's for sure.
I think one of your signature things is your use of a little bit of texture through the yellow. You see it here, but in paintings you've done in the past, you get that thick acrylic texture, and I love it because it really pulls out a new dimension.
It does. It's impasto, very thick, like butter.
Is that what it's called, impasto?
Impasto,
okay,
yes.
very interesting. We are going to take a 2-minute break now. We're going to come back to the one-day weather and the inquiry board. Then we're going to check in on a last shot of this and just see how it all worked out. Karla, it's always lovely to have you here. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Awesome. Information on the screen if you would like to get in touch with Karla. That's certainly how you can do so.